The importance of seed we can visualize, or we can notice through the success of Green Revolution, particularly in India and many of the Asian countries. Having said that, there are a number of issues which will give prime importance for the seed systems. Like if you look at the population, which is now around 7.4 billion, by the end of 2050, it is expected to increase up to more than 9 billions. And we have to produce nearly 70% of the more food which we are producing, particularly in agricultural field crops. And apart from that, the yield gaps. So the experimental research stations by many CG institutes or international institutes or state agriculture universities and Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So I will take an example of a crop like say red gram. So at the experimental, the actual yield is nearly 3 to 4 tons per hectare, but the national productivity is not more than 700 kgs per hectare. And for that matter, the world productivity is not more than 850 kgs per hectare. So there is tremendous quantum of yield gap. So one of the main reason we can attribute is lack of quality seed for that yield gap. And if you look towards the seed replacement rate, so particularly in the crops, the seed replacement rate is very high. But the seed replacement rate in crops like green gram, black gram, or even millets, which are nutritionally rich and which can provide the nutritional towards the malnutrition, hidden hunger. So we say that the quality nutrition should be there for all the people, particularly for the poor people across the globe and across the country like India. But there is no quality nutrition, and there are so many issues of malnutrition like protein energy malnutrition, stunting, wasting, and underweight in the developing child of less than 5 years old, and anemia in pregnant women like that. So one of the major issue which is bothering the agriculture scientists and even the United Nations also focusing on climate change. So they say that due to enhanced carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere and the emission of greenhouse gases, that heat is increasing, as well as the droughts and floods occurrence is also increasing. So there is a need to produce more quality seeds in all the crops, and there is a need for robust seed systems. By the end of 2050, the plant breeders mostly say that there should be a need of 2.5% of genetic gain, but in the current scenario, the genetic gain is not more than 1 to 1.2% in many of the field crops. And because of all these factors, the United Nations has formulated sustainable development goals, many sustainable development which focus towards the eradication of malnutrition, quality nutrition, avoiding or reducing the wastage of the food, and the agricultural systems, particularly by the small and marginal farmers across the globe, should be sustainable, and there should be the doubling the farmers' income. So the main 5 sustainable goals focus also towards enhancing or having a robust seed systems. Having said that, the seed systems have taken a tremendous shift over a period of, I can say it is a paradigm shift in the seed systems over a period of last 5 to 6 decades. And even the seed systems are diverse. Diverse means there are many agroecologies. I will take an example of rice here. Rice, there are nearly more than 15 to 16 agroecologies like upland rice, lowland rice, deep water rice, below sea level rice, as well as the above mean sea level rice. Like that, 15 diverse agroecologies are there. And that particularly in the Asia as well as India, there is a tremendous rapid growth in the seed systems for the last 3 to 4 decades. And if you look towards the seed laws or seed regulations or seed legislations which are available, say, for example, in the country like India, Still, the rules and the legislations and policies of the seed are pertaining to Seed Act of 1966. But over a period of time, the technological advancements, particularly the seed trade and the rapid expansion of the private industry, there are a number of technological advancements. Our technology has overtook the legislations over a period of time, but still the legislations or policies are in the infant stage. And basically, there are two types of seed systems across the globe, and particularly in a country like India also. That is the formal, which is mainly governed by the public institutions, like they have a setup of or a system of seed like nucleus seed, breeder seed, foundation seed, and certified seed. And the public institutions mainly take the role of producing the high yielding variety seeds and the hybrids and the development of the parental lines of the hybrids. And they are looking after towards the nucleus seed production, breeder seed production. And to the farming community, they are distributing the foundation seed and certified seed. And the private industry mainly they are giving the provision they have is the truthfully labeled seed that is called as TFL in the country, and mainly they are mainly giving the truthfully labeled seeds to the farming community. And in a country like India, or particularly the developing countries of South Asia, there is prevalence of informal seed system. So that is nothing but the farmer to farmer exchange or exchange of high yielding varieties of seeds to the farming community among themselves. So this has biggest advantage in many crops like pulses and millets where there is no commercial perspective by the private sector, and this informal seed system is mainly mainly benefiting the farming community by the spread and by the diffusion of the high yielding variety seeds, because to a humongous farming community which is prevailing in countries like India, China, where there is a lot of geographical area, it is practically impossible by the public and private industry to have the spread of the quality seeds. And this informal seed system is playing a greater role in spreading the diffusion and enhancing the adoption of high yielding variety seeds. But there are limitations in informal seed system, basically the lack of quality or non-maintenance of quality and all those things. And particularly in case of hybrids, by mistake farmer, because the hybrid seed has to be replaced by the farming community every year and they have to go for a fresh hybrid seeds, and lack of knowledge also leading to cultivation of hybrid, the F1 hybrid by the farming community. And in the next year, in subsequent generations, there is a lot of segregation and reduction of the yield. Some disadvantages are there, but having said that, though there are disadvantages, but informal seed system, once we can that will be a big bonus or big advantage to the farming community who do not have access for high yielding variety seeds because of so many geographical constraints and political constraints and other so many constraints which are faced by them. And if you look at the dynamics of seed system, particularly in a country like India, as well as a number of countries in Asia, see the Japan, China, India, and Thailand. So these are the countries, particularly in Asia, where the seed systems are very well advanced, and there is a mega role played by the private industry as well as a strong network of public institutes and public industries. Say, for example, in India, that is led by Indian Council of Agricultural Research in coordination, networking with all the state agricultural universities in respective states, as well as in collaboration with the international institutes like ICRISAT, CADA, and IRRI, like that. And in the countries like Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan, Philippines, and Vietnam, a bit lesser seed systems, robust seed systems are available compared to the advanced systems which are prevailing in Japan, China, India, and Thailand. And the countries like Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Myanmar, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, a little bit less advanced seed systems are prevailing. And the countries like Afghanistan, Bhutan, Cambodia, Laos, and Malaysia, these are still the seed systems are not advanced and still in the infantry stage. And if you look at the percentage of varieties, particularly the hybrid vegetables, hybrid maize, as well as cotton, open pollinated OPVs in vegetables, these are the major focus are the percentage of varieties. You can see the gigantic share of hybrid vegetables as well as hybrid maize by the private industry, whereas the public sector mainly focuses on oilseed crops, grain legumes, as well as OPVs in maize and rice and wheat open pollinated varieties are straight varieties. And if you look at the percentage of seed production also, the dominance of private sector in terms of vegetables and hybrid maize like that, whereas the public sector is mainly focusing on other crops like oilseed crops, grain legumes like that. So this means the main focus is by the private industry, which has a major roots compared to the public industries. They have a limited set of vegetables and maize. So our maize, our main focus should be on the field crops or oilseed crops or millet crops, which are the need of the hour by the farming community to have the food security as well as to have this the nutrition security for the coming generations or the population which is going to be very high in the coming years. And there are a number of success stories and a number of approaches by means of which the public and private sectors, particularly the public institutions, are trying to establish, are trying to enhance the adoption of high yielding variety seeds, like small seed packets of high yielding variety seeds through, say, for example, in case of pulses, the A3P program, Accelerated Pulse Production Program, as well as NFSM schemes, the small seed packs of high yielding variety seeds, which are new seeds with resistance for pests and diseases, are distributed to the farming community. And the seed supply with subsidy link has been linked with the input subsidy system so that to enhance the adoption of high yielding variety seeds. And there are a number of incentives or schemes like revolving fund or even the loans from the private banks as well as corporate banks for supporting the small seed organizations which are established at the village level, focusing on the production of high yielding variety seeds. And there are success stories on village-based seed enterprises by many institutes, particularly agri and ICRISAT. And even there are establishments of community-based seed organizations, village seed banks, and bridging public and private seed sectors through MOUs from a private sector to a public sector. So that, say, for example, there are a number of private seed companies. In Hyderabad itself, there are more than 400 private seed companies. So these private seed companies, many of them are not in a position to have a strong research and development R&D for them. So, but public sector has a very well established research and development R&D sector with them. So these private seed companies, which are of small size, they can have the parental lines or high yielding variety seeds in many of the crops, and they can go for the multiplication of those high yielding variety seeds as well as hybrids and spreading the adoption of high yielding variety seeds among the farming community. In the recent past, the Department of Agriculture Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, has given a lot of incentives. Has given, for example, they have established the seed hubs, particularly for enhancing or enhancing the productivity of oilseed crops. Say, for example, in case of pulses, we have the self-sustenance, and we are now producing almost 25 million tons of pulses seeds for our own consumption, and we are self-sufficient in pulses production, and we are self-sufficient in rice and wheat production. But at the same time, in case of oil seeds, so we require around 25 million tons of oil seeds. We are in a position to produce only 10 to 12 million tons, and every year we are importing 15 million tons of oil seeds from other countries. And I will tell one example. Out of the 15 million tons, nearly 10 million tons of oil seeds, oils are imported from Malaysia. That is mainly oil palm. So such is the depth of oil seeds production. To boost up oil seeds production, number of schemes like seed hubs are institutional by the Government of India. And there is a need for seed quality control. So the seed being produced in the different levels like nucleus, breeder, foundation, registered, certified seed. So there should be a proper seed quality. And recently, the institutes like ICRISAT as well as IRRI, so to create awareness among the farming community. They have a lot of farmers participate in the variety selection trials so that farmer get an idea, and even the concerned researchers will also get an idea to breed and develop varieties, keeping in view of the market segment which is needed for the farming community in their respective agroecologies. Biofortification is one area. Say, for example, in case of sorghum and pulse millet, the biofortification, that means enhanced iron and zinc. Say, simply in case of pulse millet, the normal varieties will have more than around 30 to 40 ppm of iron. But the biofortified varieties are hybrids of sorghum and pulse millet or bajra are having more than 80 to 90 ppm of iron. So this is one area which is having exciting prospects in all the crops like rice. There are the breeding programs for high protein as well as high iron and zinc, and even in pulses also the normal range of protein is around 20 to 25%. But the breeding programs are in progress to have high protein lines. So like that, biofortification is one of the upcoming area, and the classical example in this aspect is the golden rice, which is also vitamin A rich rice, which is also comes under this particular area of biofortification. Similarly, the seed road maps and seed, one village concept, establishment of value chains, establishment of market linkages. So this is one area like market. Say, for example, I will take an example of red gram. So in Karnataka, the red gram price in Gulbarga, the market will be always high compared to the red gram price which is available in most parts of the Telangana. So in the such cases, the farmer should be aware of this market linkages, and he can have the selling of his produce at areas where there is higher market price. So gender plays a crucial role, particularly the role of women in having a robust seed systems has to be strengthened so that the quality seeds should be available to the farming community. And seed storage is one of the big issue, mainly many of the crops like groundnut, soybean, where there are a number of issues of seed storage. And for that matter, all the pulses are vulnerable for storage space. Similarly, the rice is also one of the crop, wheat is also one of the crop, where there are a number of issues of seed storage. So till now we are banking on the traditional methods, but now the focus is shifted towards hermetic storage, and the even the cold storage godowns are coming up in a bigger way. For example, in Hyderabad there is Gubba cold storage. So simply instead of going for routine gunny bag, a number of advances have taken place. So like that, we can have the 3-layered polythene bags where you can hermetically, and we can at a cheaper cost we can store the seed, particularly which is meant for seed purpose only, and that will have higher germination and higher quality and higher viability and vigor, so that the high yielding varieties or seeds are stored at a proper place and a proper time, so that the farmers are benefited from this advances or the improvements in seed storage methods. And we often talk of genomics. So a number of advances have taken place in particularly the plant breeders as well as molecular breeders. So to enhance the genetic gain and to have different varieties for different agroecologies. So now we can take the advantage of this genomics, like marker-assisted backcrossing, marker-assisted recurrent selection, so that we can fast track the release of high yielding varieties in a period of uh, 5 to 6 years. Traditionally, if you want to develop varieties, release varieties, it will take at least 10 to 12 years. And by using this modern genomics methodologies, we can reduce the duration which is required for development and release of variety to not more than 5 to 6 years. So this is one area coming up, so that to combat climate change, to have more high yielding variety seeds as well as hybrids in all the crops with the enhanced genetic gain, the genomics integration with the conventional breeding tools will definitely help in identifying and developing agroecological specific high yielding varieties as well as hybrids in the respective crops. So this artificial intelligence and machine learning is one of the area which is now widely being adapted or widely talked about in the recent past. Say, for example, simply the drones. Earlier, we had drones only for large scale pesticide application, but the drone application has now even has been utilized at micro plot level. So in this plot, you can see the use of drone for spraying the weedicide. And this is the drones which are available for spraying a pesticide and insecticide on the standing crop. So like that, advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning, we can have this in the seed systems for seed production. We can have the seed roadmaps and seed quality testing, and we can have proper seed rolling plan and seed inventory. We can have this advances in the area of machine learning, so that a robust seed systems can be developed. And you can see, for example, earlier when we want to test a particular variety of rice or particular varieties of any other crop, so we used to go for sowing the seed in a land, and we were looking towards the established seedlings, and again going for different tests. That is cumbersome basically, and was taking a lot of time. But now the um, magnetic uh, magnetic systems are available, where you can test the seed quality by simply scanning the seeds itself. So such are the advancements which are taking place in the area of this artificial intelligence through the emerging technologies. And finally, I can say that the way forward should be creating the awareness among the farming community, and enhancing the visibility on latest aspects of, say, for example, the information regarding high yielding variety seeds, their availability, and their package of practices, or good agricultural practices of the um, crops by using the high yielding variety seeds as well as the hybrids. And there should be a integrated role, particularly by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, state agriculture universities, private industry. So a effective and well-established linkages should be there for the spread of yielding variety seeds. And one point which I want to highlight is a good decision has been made by the government of India, where the many varieties like mega varieties, many of the crops like JL24 or K6 in groundnut or BPT 5204 in rice. So like that, only there is a repeated cultivation of the already popular varieties. So that is also one of the biggest threat or biggest drawback, because of these extant varieties, there is a little chance or little access for the spread of new varieties. So the extant varieties were actually not included in the subsidy scheme by the government of India, so that there is a tremendous encouragement towards the use of improved varieties or latest varieties, or by creating access of these latest varieties to the farming community. So such policy decision should be there, so that the farmer as well as the um, the stakeholders will be benefited by the high yielding varieties which are being released by the breeders from the public sector as well as private sector every year. Say, for example, in case of maize, you can see every private company or private industry is giving one or two hybrids every year. And similarly, the public sector is also focusing on releasing of rice varieties, not more than 20 to 30 per annum. But if you see the spread of the area under these high yielding variety seeds is very less. So in that particular context, some of the policies are to be strict and should be oriented towards the benefit of the farming community. So with this, I thank agricultureinformation.com for giving me this opportunity, and I am happy to take any questions on this particular topic.
Thank you, Dr. Sameer, for the detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions. In the meantime, you can stop sharing the screen so that we can see your full video. Okay, so the first question is from Mr. Mohan Rao. And the question is, good topic, Dr. Venkata Kumar. Why international as well as, one second, I'll just read out. Yeah. Why international as well as local seed companies will store only in Hyderabad area cold storage, but not in Vijayawada or Guntur or Vizag cold storage of their products?
Yeah, basically, see, the Telangana now it is uh, the seed bowl of India. So, if you go back towards 2 to 3 decades back, the Jalna and Bangalore and Aurangabad, these were the main hubs of seed production in the country. But over a period of time, the the seed industry has moved towards Hyderabad, and particularly compared to the coastal areas like Vijayawada and other those areas, here the not only for seed production the climate is congenial, but at the same time the seed can be stored very safely because of low humidity here and other climatic factors which favor towards long-term storage of the seeds with good viability and vigor. So because of that particular factor, a number of cold storage units are being established in and around the Hyderabad. And the second factor is apart from that congenial climate, so geographical advantage of the Hyderabad. It has access by road, access by train, or even access by the air. So these are the advantages compared to the areas like Vijayawada and other areas in Andhra Pradesh, which do not have the congenial climate and which are not accessible to that extent as that of Hyderabad. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Mohan, I'll share the speaker's contact information before the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question is, what exactly is meant by seed system? What is their importance? What is its importance?
So basically the thing is seed system basically encompasses the method of seed diffusion to the farming community. So basically we talk of seed system across the globe, or it's a term which encompasses the method of seed which diffuses to the seed farming community, particularly the yielding variety seeds. So the seed system mainly broadly divided into two types, like formal means which has a formalized channel, like public sector. Mainly it, when a particular institute develops a variety, it will have a proper seed roadmap or seed channel like nucleus seed, breeder seed, foundation seed, and certified seed. So that particular channel or systematic channel, which is defined by International Seed Testing Association, as well as the state seed development corporations of respective states or national seeds corporation, and which has a formal setup is called as a formal seed system. And every year, the state seed development corporations or national seeds corporation, for that matter, even the private industry also comes under this formal seed system. Though the channel or seed roadmap of nucleus breeder foundation certified, they do not follow. But basically, the advantage of 1966 Seed Act, which enables the private industry to have the TFL seeds, truthfully labeled seeds. So that also we can say under formal seed system. But informal seed system is basically the other side of the formal seed system, where the farmer to farmer exchange or even the seed growers or farmer producers organizations in a particular village or particular community, usually they will have their own seeds once they're procured from public and private institutions, and they will diffuse that among the farming community. So that is also a biggest plus to farming community, particularly in open pollinated varieties as well as straight varieties in self-pollinated crops, are often cross-pollinated crops like sorghum and safflower. But the informal seed system is a bit of disadvantage in case of hybrid crops, which cannot be cultivated not more than 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, for a farmer listening to your talk, what is the most important point for him to remember after this talk?
So basically the thing is the seed, quality seed. So he has to keep in mind that in crops like rice or green gram, black gram, groundnut, once if he gets a high yielding variety seed, he should acquire the skill of producing his own quality seed. So there are a number of organizations like agriculture research stations of respective state agriculture universities, or even the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. They are capacitating the farming community on the development of on their own seed production program. So how he should acquire a skill of developing his own seeds, particularly in the crops which are particularly self-pollinated or varieties. by following certain seed production principles like roguing, isolation, selection of fruit type plants, and harvesting them separately, threshing them separately, bagging them separately to avoid contamination. And at the same time, he can have the benefits of good quality seeds by his own skills. And he can also save seed. Every year he cannot purchase by affording some cost for the highly variety seeds, and at the same time he can benefit his neighboring farmers also. So I expect that farmers should have the skill of seed production so that he can have his own seed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it will be the last question. Please tell us about yourself. What made you to take an interest in agriculture research?
Yeah, basically, see, this question is common to all the agriculture graduates. And basically, the agriculture graduate is a science student. And after completion of intermediate, agriculture happens to many of the people by chance. That means everybody prefers medicine. And if he or she does not get a medicine, he will go for agriculture. So I want to be candid on that particular aspect. Because I could not get the medicine, I have shifted to agriculture. Having said that, once I joined in agriculture, even when I joined in agriculture scientist in 1993, I joined in agriculture BSc course in 1985. So after 6 months or after first semester of the completion of first semester, I was completely, dedicated to agriculture course, and I didn't even write. Many of the people will attempt second time for the medicine, but I didn't thought at attempting medicine, and because of the very good interest which was created in me within a span of 4 to 6 months of my first semester study. So let onwards, agriculture is exciting because you can have you can see uh, the growth of different crops, and you can see the farming community, their struggle. And once you have your own varieties, for example, I have released more than 43 varieties in many of the field crops. And once the farmer adopts your variety, which is your baby, and he reaps the benefits of that particular variety, it gives more immense satisfaction compared to any other field. Yeah. Yeah, Rajani.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Dr. Venkata, I don't see any more questions from our participants. So I think now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank you for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions. And we also like to thank the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed. And for your information, I've shared your contact number and email address with our participants.
Thank you, Rajani. I sincerely thank you and agricultureinformation.com for your valiant efforts. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you.